Good morning. This is Naveen. So we will get started on the session. This session.
Good morning, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. Good morning. So I'm just starting the session. There will be one more person dialing in a minute, and then I think we can just. I'll be recording it also. So there are some more people who are not able to attend. So I'll share the recording with them.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. This is a quick presentation on the Salesforce Spring 12 release. So as you know that Salesforce makes 3 releases every year, and this about couple of weeks back they made the Spring release, and this today's presentation will just cover what are the features, just a summary of the new features in this release. We will take a quick look at the demo, like a couple of minutes for 2-3 main features. Rest of it will just be presentations. Okay, so the feature that I'm starting with today is called System Overview page. So this is a new feature in Spring 12. This basically gives us a summary view of what all are the resource usage of Salesforce of a particular instance. So for example, if we want to know how much is the disk space being used, how many Apex classes I'm using, how much licenses I'm using, etc., then we can use the system overview page. This is available via link on the setup below the home page. So I will just look at it through a demo. The functionality is available only to administrators, and it gives us a warning if any of our usage exceeds 95%. The specific information that gets displayed is listed here. So as I just mentioned, number of triggers that are there, how much is the data storage, number of objects with respect to the total limit that we are allowed to use. So basically we can get a quick warning if we are approaching the limit for any of our usages. So let's just take a minute to look at this feature. So let's just this is my personal developer account. So we can just use this for today's demo. So on the left on the setup is force.com home, and on the left top, just below this is the system overview link. This is what I was referring to. So let me just click and see how it looks like. So this is it has subsections for schema, API usage, business logic, etc. And we basically get a feel where how much resources are being used. This is obviously a demo environment. In a real environment, we would have many more classes, many more licenses, etc. And let's say if we had 2 licenses and both of them are utilized, it will appear in the red color here. So anytime we are exceeding the 90%, 95% usage of our allowable resources, it will show it as red. Also, it will generate a warning on the home page. We can configure what messages needs to be shown on the home page by this button, configure force.com messages. So by default, if in any of these areas, in all the areas, if we are using more than our maximum allowed limit, then a warning will get generated. Let me just come out of this, and the warning will appear on the home page, force.com home page. In our case, there is we are within the limits. We are within the limits for all the sections, so the warning section here is missing. Otherwise, just below getting started, a section appears which shows wherever, in which areas we are utilizing more than 95% of our allowable limits. Okay, if you have any questions, just stop me in between. Let's move on to the next feature. Okay, there's a feature called tab bar. This is a minor user interface enhancement. So what basically it indicates is that uh, it indicates if this, I'll just show it in a demo. This arrow here is used for is used to indicate, let's say we have more than the tabs that can be displayed on this screen. In previous releases, we had to use a scroll bar to access all of them. Now we can just click on it, and the remaining tabs are available to us, and we can just click on any one of them to go there. This feature is called the tab bar. It's a minor user interface improvement. Okay, let's move on to the next feature. There is a feature that was introduced in the winter release. This feature is still in beta. It's called Schema Builder. The fact that it is in beta means that it is not yet live in production, and Salesforce thinks that this requires some more work before it can be made production kind of ready. However, this is available to all users, and it is part of the standard enterprise or unlimited editions. What this does is it basically gives us a graphical representation of all the objects, the fields, their relationship in our instance of Salesforce. The new thing that they have added in the Spring release is that now it allows us to create custom objects, fields, relationships, lookup, and master detail from the schema builder. So we don't have to go to setup, create, the standard way of creating objects and fields. We can just create them through schema builder. The creation is done through drag and drop interface. There are a couple of features which are still missing. One of them being that the delete is not yet supported. And another one is that the major limitation is that we cannot print from the schema builder at this stage. Okay, let's just take a quick look at it. Before that, let me just cover one more point here, that the main purpose of schema builder is that it can be used as a documentation tool. If a new user comes in, he wants to see where all the objects are, how various things are related, he can get a pictorial representation of the schema through the tool. Another advantage is that if you want to make some minor edits across multiple objects, we can do this quickly through the schema builder. Now let's just go back to Salesforce and look at a quick demo of this schema builder. So we are already in the setup area. So this is available just below the deploy link in the app setup area. Let me just click on it. So as you can see, this has two parts. The left side is a list of objects, and the right side is the graphical representation. In a real situation, we would have hundreds of objects, and that can be seen here. If I just hover over this this link, it shows what is the type of relationship and from where to where. In this case, it is a lookup relationship. I can zoom in, zoom out by using the plus and minus buttons. And also in a real situation, there would be many objects here. So I can just click on it and navigate to different objects using this area. Let's move to the left side now. So let's say we want to look at the case object now. So we can type case here and then select this. And now the case object also starts appearing. That's how we can add objects from the left navbar into the schema view. Okay, the new feature that they have added in the Spring release is this Elements tab on the left side. This allows us to create new objects and fields directly from the schema builder. Let's just do it to get a feel of it. So we'll just drag this object here. Since this is a demo environment, we can just actually create it. So this object just created just gets created automatically through this simple interface. And let's say we want to add a new field to it, we can just drag and drop this here, and an interface appears. I can say this is my money field, and then save it. So this new field gets created. Now these fields are actually getting created in the database, so it's equivalent to doing the same operation through the standard setup interface. Okay, that's like a very high level overview of the schema builder. Let's move on to since this presentation is more of an overview presentation of all the features, let's move on to the next feature. Okay, this is one of the most anticipated feature of the Spring release. It's called the cross-object workflows. As you know, workflows are one of the most commonly used features, especially by Salesforce administrators and also by developers. So the workflows have a limitation that they can edit only their own fields. This new feature, cross-object workflows, allows us to edit our the parent object of a child object. So let's say if there is a master detail relationship between a child object and a parent object, then from a workflow running on the child object, we can update any field of the parent object. Earlier this used to require a trigger. Now we do not need to write any code for this. We can just do it through the standard workflow. There are a couple of other features like workflows can retrigger workflows, and workflows can update encrypted fields. Okay, let's move on to the next feature. This is this product, this analytics is an addition to the report functionality. This was initially being planned as a separate product. So Salesforce wanted that in Spring release they would have an add-on product, but there was a lot of customer resistance on this. Customers gave feedback that this should be part of the standard release, and based upon the feedback, that is what Salesforce has done. So this analytics feature is now available as part of the standard Enterprise Unlimited edition. As you know, traditionally there are three report types: the summary, tabular, and matrix reports. This analytics is basically a new report type called joint report. What this allows us to do is that we can have multiple reports on multiple objects running together, multiple report types essentially. We can have a report divided into multiple blocks, and each block will correspond to one report type. So what this can do is, for example, if you want to show for one account all the opportunities that are associated with that, and also all the cases that are associated with that, those can be shown in a single report, which was not possible earlier. So this is one of the highly anticipated features. Let's move on to the next feature. This feature is called social accounts and contacts. This is one of the most, let's say, from Salesforce management, Mark Benioff perspective, this is one of the most important features of Salesforce. And if you have attended any recent Dreamforce for last year or any other Salesforce event, they spend a lot of time talking about this. What this does is that that if you have a customer which has a Facebook page, then we can log into Facebook from Salesforce, and we can associate the Facebook page of a customer with the account page of our Salesforce instance, and then any updates from the Facebook